Yo, everyone! Lawson here, back in action for more Remembered Attraction. That's right, we're playing Yakuza, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Almost misremembered what we were playing. Because we need Kiryu to remember exactly who his people were, and just to see them at least one more time. And it seems like Data-san has found somebody else for us to deal with, so...
Lead the way.
I mean, you said it.
Oh, good. I assume you're ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
I'm prepared.
All right. Our guest this time came all the way from Kyushu. Chief Nakajima of Nagasu Taxi.
Oh!
Chief Nakajima.
Oh, dang.
He looked after you during your stint as a cab driver back in Fukuoka, didn't he?
Yes, he did. 10 years ago, Chief Nakanichi. I never told him my real name, even after I left.
Hey,
Yep.
what's up? You remember him, right? Don't tell me I wasted my time calling him here.
You didn't. Besides, I wouldn't be that ungrateful. It's
That's
just...
nice.
I never thought I'd see him again.
It's so wild to me that, like, a lot of these ones are pretty much people that we haven't had enough time with. And, like, yet Kiryu has impacted their lives greatly. You know? It's not like the hitters. Like Sejima or Majima. It's literally just, like, this guy from Yakuza 5 that we talked to just during his story only.
Chief Nakajima was about the only civilian I spent a lot of time with.
Mm-hmm.
You tried running from your past back then, too, didn't you? Even went by the alias Taichi Suzuki and everything. Trouble always finds you somehow. In the past and even now.
You said you called a chief here? How was he? He must be getting along in years now. Did he seem well?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you go see for yourself?
What? Did something bad happen to him?
Oh, good heavens, I can't drink that much. Well, ain't this a pickle?
Oh, come on, Mr. Chief. Don't be shy. Today's a special treat, isn't it?
Right?
Well, you ain't wrong there. Speaking of which, Date-san's not here yet. Wonder what's taking him. This ain't a scam, right? You're not gonna rip me off.
Don't worry. Date-san gave me a rundown. That man's a real detective, you know.
Date-san, what was with that ominous look earlier?
Well, as you can see, he's doing great. Figured it'd make you appreciate the reunion more. Cab company's not exactly doing well, but the chief does everything he can to keep it going.
Can he just, like,
That's
can't
great.
Kiryu actually meet him?
Glad to hear it.
Thought so.
Wait, Date-san, you've never met Chief Nakajima before, right? How did you even get him to come all the way here?
Well, I might have abused a bit of my police authority.
Hey, let's
Told him I
go!
wanted to ask him about his former employee, Taichi Suzuki.
What?
Also told him it was a personal investigation and that we couldn't talk over the phone since the higher-ups don't know about it. I asked if he could come to Yokohama instead.
You do know how suspicious that sounds, right? I'm surprised the chief fell for that.
I offered to cover his travel expenses, so it's basically a paid vacation. His drinks at this club are even on me. Oh, don't give me that look, man.
What? I was just worried about you. You're always coming up with all these lies for me.
I thought I told you this before. I'm only doing all this because I want to. Don't sweat it.
Yeah.
10 years ago, he told me himself to come back and work for him again, no matter what.
Oh?
He gave me a hand when I hit rock bottom, and I was never able to thank him for that.
He's right there, thank him!
Got it. Guess it'll be on me to tell him all of that.
This place sure is a riot. Hey, maybe I ought to move to Yokohama myself.
Oh, would you really? Then you could come visit me every day. I'll be here waiting.
Yeah.
Boy, I do that and I'll be broke in no time.
Ooh. Pleasure meeting you, Chief Nakajima. I'm Date. You been enjoying yourself?
Oh, gosh darn it, I'm sorry. Got a little carried away there. Nearly forgot I was meeting up with you, Mr. Detective.
No need for the formalities. Thanks for coming all the way here. Mind if I take a seat?
Oh, no, not at all. Please do. Still, to think Suzuki-san's name would come up again. But like I told you on the phone, the last I saw Suzuki-san was 10 years ago.
Dang.
How's that even gonna help the police?
Well, truth be told, I knew Suzuki personally outside my work as a detective. Honestly, I just wanted to have a drink with someone else who knew him. Sorry for making a fuss out of this, Chief.
Oh, no, it's fine. You even paid for me to travel here and all. Besides, I feel the same way about Suzuki-san.
Huh?
Wasn't one for words, but I could never forget him. Just that kind of fella, you know.
That honestly was one of the highlights of Yakuza 5. Like, I've talked with my ex, Lucy, a lot. We both agree that we don't like Yakuza 5. Like, 100% the game is just too damn long. But one of the things that it did do well was Kiryu's story. Kiryu's story and I believe Haruka's story are the only ones that we both universally agree on are the best ones of the bunch, which makes sense. But hey, you know, whatever.
So what happened? Did Suzuki-san cause some kind of incident? He ain't getting arrested, is he?
Huh? No, I'm not going to arrest him. See, Suzuki's been dead for a few years now.
Huh? Come again? You ain't pulling my leg or nothing.
You didn't know?
No, not at all. Had no clue. So that's what happened to Suzuki-san?
Poor Suzuki-san.
I can't believe my ears. He was always so serious, a real dedicated fella.
Hey, something doesn't seem to be adding up here. Just double checking. You were aware that Taichi Suzuki was a fake name, right?
A fake name? Nah, ain't no way. That doesn't sound right. No siree.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Yeah, because he wants you to come. Yeah, did you forget about all that, Chief?
Okay, then. Why don't you settle down and hear me out? Taichi Suzuki was a fake name. His real name was Kazuma Kiryu, a Yakuza from the Tojo clan, known as
Oh
the
my
Dragon
God.
of Dojima.
You're talking about the same Suzuki-san? Ah, it's gotta be a lie. Some big mistake.
Yeah,
You
100.
ever consider that the Suzuki-san I know and the Suzuki-san you know are two different people?
Exactly.
Fine, then. So that's how you want to play. Then explain this. Take a good look at this photo. This guy looks real familiar, doesn't he? Perhaps you've seen this on TV before. You're looking at Kazuma Kiryu. Shortly after this footage aired, he was sent to prison, then lost his life in Hiroshima.
Frankly, that don't sound like the Suzuki-san I know.
Exactly. He was a taxi
really?
driver. Chief Naga is probably playing dumb by pretending he doesn't know me. Got the right idea, letting the police know that he was involved with me. Especially considering the fact that he's got his own company to run.
Guess I should have looked into your story more carefully before coming all the way out here. If I had known we were talking about two different people, I wouldn't have let you pay for my whole trip.
Now hold on, sir. What's with the act?
Huh?
We both know for a fact that Kiryu went by Suzuki in Kyushu. So why are you pretending you don't know him?
Well, I ain't pretending. There was just a little mix-up.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. I'll even pay for my own drinks, too. Take care now.
No, wait. Please.
I think we're done here. Besides, I ought to get going. Let go!
What has gotten into you?
Nothing. You're just being a bother.
Wait, please. Hey, stop right there, sir.
Ooh, what's going on? Why all the yelling?
Let him go, Dante. Damn it.
Judging by the way you wanted to run from me, I think I get what's going on.
Huh? What about?
You probably did come here to talk about Taichi Suzuki. and maybe squeeze in some sightseeing on the side. But with how you're acting, I'm guessing you saw this recently.
Oh, that's,
Your plans changed when this video started going around. Suddenly, rumors that Kazuma Kiryu is still alive and kicking spread all over the internet, despite his supposed death. Word got to you too, didn't it? Right after you agreed to meet with me here.
I don't know a thing about that.
What's going on?
If Kazuma Kiryu
Right?
really is alive and in hiding, then you wouldn't want to tip off the police. Even a minor detail about his past runs the risk of endangering him. Long story short, you don't want to sell your friend out to the police. But after coming all the way to Yokohama, it looked just as suspicious to cancel our meeting. It all makes sense now. That's why you're trying to act like you don't know Kazuma
Nah,
Kiryu.
Suzuki-san was different.
You got the wrong idea. That's completely off.
Where you're coming from, you probably aren't too sure if I really am Kiryu's friend. In that case, it'd be best for you to say I've got the wrong guy. Keep mum and leave your seat. Chief Nakajima, this has all been one huge misunderstanding.
Huh?
Neither Tokyo PD nor the Fukuoka police knew that Kiryu had been employed at Nagasu Taxi. Have you ever gotten a call from the police asking after him? I'm positive you haven't, because I'm the only one who knows about your connection to Kiryu. After all, I heard all of this from the man himself. In fact, he even told me about the first time you two met.
Oh?
He helped out a woman who was being harassed, but let himself get beat up in the process. At the time, he had nowhere to go since he had to cover up his history with the Yakuza. He nearly gave up on life. That's when you entered the picture. You took him on and hired him as a taxi driver. That guy's known as the legendary Yakuza. You think he'd crack in the interrogation room? I heard all of this straight from the horse's mouth. I may not know what's going on in his head, but I consider him my best friend.
Oh?
Date-san.
Well, that sure explains a whole lot. Guess it can't hurt to trust you then.
Oh, so he did know.
How about we turn
Damn,
back,
he's a good actor.
start fresh, take it from the top?
Told me.
Works for me.
Date-san truly is a veteran. He managed to assess the situation. Also gotta hand it to him. I'm impressed.
I found out that Suzuki-san was actually Kazuma Kiryu from the news. Saw him in that Yakuza scuffle up in Kamurocho. Must have been a little while after he left our place. All his old co-workers were pretty shaken up, me included. Sure, I knew he was no run-of-the-mill guy, but I never thought he'd be the legendary Yakuza. Also, just between us, a lot of my employees are hiding scars because of something or other in the past. Same goes for me, too. So I was never, ever gonna rat out Kiryu-san to the police. But the moment I told myself that, news got out about Kazuma Kiryu dying somewhere in Hiroshima.
That must have been shocking.
Of course it was. But now, what the heck even was that video? I can't make heads or tails of nothing no more. You know something, don't you, Date-san? Is Kazuma Kiryu... is Suzuki-san still alive? Please, Date-san?
Well, I guess it wouldn't be right if I just lied to your face after unraveling all that, so I'm just gonna say no comment.
Oh?
No comment?
That's not enough for you?
That's great. Real great. Just what I needed to hear. You know, you're a lot like Suzuki-san. No tact, no skill at lying, and a good man.
Yeah.
This coming from you, you're just as bad at lying.
No, he isn't. No,
You
he
got me
isn't.
there.
After getting to know you, Chief, I think I get why he wanted me to pass on a message.
Huh?
When the two of you first met, he had just drifted all the way to Kyushu in order to protect his loved ones from his own past. That was the lowest point in Kiryu's life. In a place with no one he knew. with
Yeah,
no
it
one
was
to turn to,
actually.
with no one to talk to or depend on, until you showed up and lent him the hand he needed.
Mm-hmm.
Words can't describe how indebted he feels to you. Still does, to this day.
Ha, that's so. And I got something to say to him, too.
And what's that?
The last time I saw Suzuki-san, I left him with these words. You're part of the family now, Suzuki-san. Just be sure to come back to us, no matter what.
Oh,
Hmm.
I still
please.
stand by those words today. So if you ever find yourself in trouble,
Oh,
you'll always have a home with us.
oh.
I'll be waiting for you back in Kyushu. So just remember, you're never alone. Think you could tell him all that for me, Date-san?
Kiryu really didn't pack a lot of lies with this. It's really nice. Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so good, fam.
Thanks again, Date-san. Got to wrap up some unfinished business there. Now the chief finally knows how much I appreciated him. There's nothing more I can do now.
Come on, don't be like that.
All right, that reminds me. You said I was your best friend?
Oh.
No, I mean...
I mean, you
I was
kind
just
of
trying
both
to,
are.
well, you know, earn the chief's trust. I had to.
Your words really cut me to the core. They were comforting in a way, especially in these times.
Oh.
Could you not take back what you said?
Oh.
Yeah, of course.
That's so sweet.
Hey, you want to hug it out?
Oh.
I'm not drunk enough for that.
Yeah, figured.
Oh. Hug Kiryu, come on. Hug him. Friends. You're friends. Come on. Hug good. Oh, that's wonderful. This is I love these things 100%. Okay, with that being said, we do need to go to this house, and we do need this little thing right here too. So it looks like it's already setting up a situation. So I'm gonna walk over there because we have some other details to do about. And then after we're done with all that, we're just going to see what our guy needs to do. Also, where's... Okay. That should be fine.
I could do with a visit to the sauna.
Oh, everyone could. I go all the time myself.
You know, I've never really been. I keep hearing about this sauna refresh thing lately, though. Have you given that a try?
Where is the sauna? Here?
refresh?
That thing where you cycle between a sauna and a cold bath. Yeah, they say it makes you feel nice and lightheaded.
Found it. Sounds interesting.
Extreme temperature changes can make you sick, though.
Now, what if we worked up a real hot sweat from fighting, then jumped into the river to cool? Would that be a refresh?
That
No.
would be revolting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant at all.
Hey, you know what? Forget it. Shame on me for trying to save a few bucks.
Jump in that river and you'll have a lot more than shame on you.
Looks like we found this. Can we get it with people in it? No, not really. Cat, dog, no.
Picture perfect.
Good warm-up.
Okay. And what is inside here?
Ever try pudding from a convenience store? It's so rich and creamy these days.
Coming from an experienced chef, I believe you.
Actually, good food in general has gotten pretty easy to find. I
Right?
better get my ass in the kitchen.
Huh. That's a winning attitude.
I just can't stand to lose. Thought it might just be easier to sell some of that store-bought pudding in the end.
I doubt you'd end up doing that. I'll bet you'll whip up something from scratch that blows that other stuff out of the water.
You know, that's what I like about you and Kasuga-kun.
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing. Just thinking about a recipe for some mind-blowing almond jelly.
I do have to say, I'm really happy about the news lately that we are actually going to get, we're going to start getting 7-Elevens that are like the ones in Japan over here in America. Because the 7-Elevens over there actually bought a few stores over here. So, like, I can't wait for that to happen and the transition itself to happen because, like, look at this stuff. Even as just, like, a little, like, prop in Yakuza, it looks so good. Look at that sandwich. It looks so good. And I cannot express to you how much I want these. I would buy these, like, every day. It's like a perfect portion size. I can eat just one of these, get, like, a few, and just kind of, like, stock up. Ooh! I know these are technically easy to make, and I need to, like, learn how to make onigiri. But, like, this is so good. It's so good. I've had it, like, I think 8 times, question mark, total? That's really it. And, like, that is way too low a point for me. Oh, it's over here? Okay, fine.
No doors. Fancy a game of shogi when we're free?
Maybe. I like shogi. It sharpens the mind. After playing it for a while, I feel my thoughts become clearer.
I didn't know it had that sort of effect on you.
Sure. It gives me time to have a conversation with myself. Did I turn off the gas when I left? Crap, what about the energy bill? I get through my whole itinerary.
Sounds useful for sorting out errands. Although I get the feeling you lose most of your games.
Yeah, I'll be real. I don't understand shogi whatsoever, and I have no interest to learn. It's too hard.
So, I was at a 100 yen store the other day, and I noticed things were getting kind of pricey. I took a closer look, and it turned out there were some 200 yen items mixed in.
Oh yeah, that's how they get you. Nothing more embarrassing than coming up short at the register.
I'm not that down and out, you know.
So? Did you sue the store or what?
What?
Why would you sue the store?
No, that would be insane. It would have been on me for not looking. Plus, 200 yen stuff's typically better quality, so the glue gun set I picked up was more than worth it.
Gotta love a nice glue gun. I use mine all the time for DIY stuff.
She really got your attention with that, huh?
I'm sorry, did you say glue gun?
It's a hot glue dispenser shaped like a gun. You use it for crafts and hobbies and junk.
Don't know why you need a gun for that, but all right. You'll have to show me sometime, Psycho.
And another do-it-yourselfer is born.
Passing by this arcade always brings back sour memories.
Oh?
Something bad happened here?
One day, on a whim, I tried out this capsule machine selling pocket plants.
Plans? Guess they'll turn anything into collectibles these days.
Yeah, well, I ended up getting 5 of the 6 possible items, with no dupes, all in a row.
Oh,
I was on this
damn.
winning streak. So I figured I'll pull again, just to snag the whole collection. But it was like the last one was actively dodging me. In the end, I spent like 7,000 yen. My arm was practically jelly from pulling that crank.
Sounds like the machine got you good.
But you know, when I finally scored that full set, it felt like the stars aligned.
Must have been a big relief. What type of plant was in the last one?
Just your everyday Japanese spruce.
Huh. Congrats. Things are going well.
Just like, hey, it was something.
All right.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we're just kind of making our way downtown here. Grabbing all these as we go along. Why did that not activate?
Good old photography. Actually, I used to be really into taking pictures.
And you're not anymore?
Well, in the past, I
Found
would
it.
snap pics of everything around me. But one day, I realized I just couldn't find any more inspiration. Maybe I'd seen it all. There was this emptiness. Like I had already captured every corner of my own tiny world. But I was just a kid back then. So the memories aren't very sharp.
So even as a kid, you felt your world was small.
Damn. When you put it that way, it sounds like I was a real brat, huh?
Well, if you feel like you've broadened your horizons, maybe give that camera another try. See if anything new's inspired you.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Oh. Yeah, that's not gonna
Picture
play.
perfect.
I notice there's still a lot of things I need to take pictures of. Kind of insane. I think there's like one more area here.
Ordering food with touchscreens now? Tech's come far.
Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, video calls were like crazy sci-fi. Now any phone can do them.
Hey, my Dreamcast did video calls decades ago.
Did it? I wasn't aware Dreamcast had that function.
Gamer alert.
Of course, the Leomung Prince would have the fanciest toys.
They weren't that expensive.
Tech keeps advancing. Think we'll get time machines?
If you could time travel, what would you do first?
Probably go back and tell myself not to eat those weeds. That week was hell on earth. Ugh, never eat what you find on the street.
Uh-huh. Say no more.
Really? Time travel and that's all you do?
Why? What would you use it for then?
Me? I'm not really sure. Wait a second. Did I leave the gas on at home? Oh, with a time machine, I could go back and check.
Oh my god.
That's your answer?
Couldn't you just walk home and see?
Gets punted by Kiryu. Oops. I guess not.
There's a pretty rad pawn shop nearby. Always got a ton of great finds. Been a while since I stopped by. Maybe I'll go poke my head in.
I didn't realize there was a pawn shop around here.
Go figure, right? It was actually a hoarder's house originally. But once it got cleaned up, turns out it was full of treasures.
Oh my god, they're mentioning the Sun story.
Bowls for my shop there.
So, the bowls at your restaurant are secondhand?
Yep, a total steal.
Things are going well.
Oh my god. Kasuga actually did that too.
All right.
Oh my god. Look at that. Making our way downtown on this. Shoot. And yeah, we just got that, and that's it. And then finally, we could see what he's up to. What is this reminiscence? Sorry, clan office is just up ahead. Better not get too close to it. Still, being the former Tojo clan headquarters is now the Seiryu clan's Tokyo branch. As a supporter of the Great Dissolution, I might not have any right to say this, but it pains me to realize the Tojo clan is no more. They were the top of the underworld. Society would be better off without the Yakuza. This much I know. Daigo must have struggled with this decision. But whenever I think of his suffering, the loneliness I feel seems trivial in comparison. Daigo, Atase, and the others make the right decision. I want to be proud to say that.
This brings back memories.
That's why I have to do whatever I can to help. Heck yeah. Alright. What does Ichiban's captain have to say to us? It's been a while since we've actually been able to go talk to him.
So, Shiro, you should see yourself right now.
I'd appreciate you sticking to the point. I'm not man of time, you know.
All right. But first, we need to know where you stand. Who is Ebina to you?
The visionary responsible for the Second Great Dissolution. And a man after Masumi Arakawa's own heart.
We thought the same at first. But in light of his recent behavior, I'm sure you've noticed something's up by now.
Yeah. The Second Dissolution's just a smokescreen. A shiny ad to pull in fresh recruits. But I found that out too late. After sending Ichi to Hawaii.
Gee, isn't the timing convenient?
It does sound that way. But if it was a lie, I'd expect something a bit more convincing.
He has a point. Look at that. Your slimy reputation precedes you. And it's in your favor.
let's talk about Kasuga in Hawaii. He's there to lure out Akane-san, isn't he? And it was Ebina who proposed that. Likely to curry favor with Bryce. Sound right?
Right on the money.
Well, if that's the case, why are you still working with him? You had to have known. The hell Akane-san's going through, dodging death at every turn. Isn't she the woman your boss loved?
Yeah, but don't forget, Ichi's over there. As long as he's in Hawaii, Akane-san's in good hands.
Yeah, he knew.
Are we? Sounds like you trust him.
Something like that. But with him on the job, I can focus on the real work I gotta do.
Real work? And that would be...
Putting Ebina's fake plan into action. I'm gonna see the second great dissolution through.
Let's go.
But if I have any hope of doing that, I need to know Ebina's true motive.
Motive for what?
The waste management business he's running with Polycana. It has something to do with nuclear reactors. Specifically, the waste these reactors pump out.
What?
Nuclear waste? As in from power plants?
Oh, the stuff that Kiryu had.
Yeah. On one end, there's spent fuel rods, which can still be repurposed and weaponized. Without strict protocols in place, they could easily fall into the wrong hands. On the other end, there's dirt, water, concrete, equipment, and what have you that end up getting contaminated. These are considered low-level radioactive waste, and while they're not as deadly, there's a lot of it. And with Japan dragging its heels in the decommissioning process, we're left with mountains of waste that'll remain toxic for centuries. The best they can do is silo it off in temporary storage facilities and hope a solution arises in the future.
Yep, where he was at.
Oh yeah, I hear about that on the news every now and again. No matter where they try to build these facilities, the locals always fight against it.
That's precisely what Polycana honed in on. For over 20 years, they've been stashing nuclear waste from around the globe on their private island. You know it as.
Nelly Island, right? According to Polycana, that's paradise. A reward for only the chosen.
Yeah. Real fitting, isn't it?
Using sacred ground to hide away toxic waste. Bryce has a real sense of humor.
Also, the fee they charge for processing the waste isn't cheap. And I'm sure Ebina gets a nice cut. But beyond that, I still don't know where all our ex-Yakuza factor in. My guess is they're needed for loading and transport.
So that's it then. Ebina's yet another money-hungry maniac.
Not to mention they're just
Now,
disposable.
I know I shouldn't say this, but hear me out for a second. If Polycana's willing to bear the brunt of Japan's nuclear waste problem, in spite of all the issues, isn't it a win for the country?
From what I understand, each country's responsible for its own nuclear waste. How does Ebina plan on going around the law?
Well, he won't have to if they loosen regulations. Politicians, bureaucrats, and investors are all waiting to jumpstart the nuclear industry in Japan. And to keep the money flowing, they'd build even more reactors if they could. And naturally, they'd also welcome any waste disposal method that seems convenient.
So one thing I do want to talk about in particular, and something that I am not too sure about, so this is just kind of like bringing it out there rather than this is definite, is the fact that there have been studies I have seen that claim that radioactivity, rather the nuclear plants and whatnot are better for the environment and society as a whole, and they would produce more stuff than various other things. And I don't know exactly if that is really the case, because I do believe wind power and solar power are probably the better ways to go about things. But I also kind of have to agree that while I haven't poured through the data myself, a lot of my persuasion of nuclear stuff is bought by media pretty much saying nuclear bad. And like, I definitely think there's something there towards what we have as like a nuclear option now. And I believe it's safer now with all the regulations that they have in place and everything. So I'm not necessarily against an idea of like more nuclear reactors per se. Like if they were building one in my town or like around me or something, I'd probably look up a little bit more about the whole entire deal. But for what it is, it might be a better renewable resource, or rather just a resource of energy compared to something like coal, you know?
So if one day you hear the TV saying how the government wants to ship its waste offshore, that means they've already started trying to sway public opinion. And eventually, a change in legislation will follow.
Wow, that's insane, right? There's a chance Ebina and Palikana could legally be in the clear. If only it weren't the Yakuza and a cult, I might have just took it and shrugged. Sorry if this sounds biased, but there has to be an ulterior motive somewhere.
There absolutely is.
In other words, you're sticking with Ebina to figure out that motive.
Yes.
You say that, but did you really need to blow Kiryu-san's cover? You know, on the Tatara channel?
I merely read the script I was given.
Alright.
It's true that for Ebina, the second dissolution might just be a means to an end. However, if Masumi Arakawa were alive, this is something he would have wanted. And if whatever Ebina's planning would subvert that, I'll bring him down from the very foundation.
I see.
When that time comes, I would hope to have the Dragon of Dojima's support. That's why I went through all this, to speak with you.
How could the great dissolution we forged with the Tojo clan and the Omi Alliance crumble like this? People put their lives on the line to open up a path for the future. But all it took was 4 years to fail.
Kiryu-san.
Guess your plans weren't so airtight. As a country, Japan's not exactly kind to those who make mistakes. Far from it, actually. So yeah, these ex-Yakuza had nowhere to turn but Ebina. Getting back on their feet wasn't an option.
No, something's not right. It shouldn't have been like this. This wasn't the plan they told me about. The plan we all believed in.
Sorry, who are they?
The leaders of the Great Dissolution. Daigo Dojima, 6th chairman of the Tojo clan, along with Goro Majima and Taiga Saejima.
Oh? There's Daigo. Daigo's here. So Daigo did this on purpose. Why is Daigo trying to kill everybody?